What up, free bro? Salvation. Hey, you got many minds. Think about salvation, get the dance. In my flesh vein, it's my heart not trouble, I will pain. We trust in Abba, he the one that kill your problems. We thinking Abba, now we know about that lava. The streets of gold, walking on that road, I can't sell my soul. Hell no, I'ma be the light everywhere I go. Ain't no vaccine up in the temple. The devil know that the most I dwelling in you. They trying to shoot you up, that should really offend you.
My cry for mercy as I call on you for help, as I lift up my hands towards your most holy place. I just wanna be worthy. I just wanna be
Shabbat Shalawam, Shabbat Shalawam. Let's give all praises. All praises be to the Most High Yahweh, the Ancient of Days, the Giver of Life, the Taker of Life, our Father Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Once again, Shalawam, Shalawam, Shalom, peace and blessings to all of the Ahchyam, all of the Achwathyam scattered out to the four corners of the earth. We say peace and blessings to you on this beautiful Shabbat day. Beautiful, beautiful. Do the ministry a favor, hit that subscribe button. Also hit the bell so when we go live, you could be alerted. Hit that thumbs up, that like. And if you believe that this message is edifying, if you really believe that it's edifying when you listen to it in your heart and your mind, please, please share it with someone. Shalawam, Shabbat Shalawam, I should say. Jason Moore 77, he says, all praises be to the Most High. Happy Shabbat. Ahchyam, all praises to Water for being here. It's good to see you still alive. It's good to see that the Most High still barak you to have another day. Like I say, I will be here, Yahweh willing. It's only His will, right? So, the water. He says, Khan. Now, as always, I'm going to give a few more minutes for any Ahchyam, any other brothers, or any Achwathyam brothers and sisters that are going to join us before we actually dive into the lesson of the day, which is a beautiful one. It's a beautiful one through the Rakah. Let the spirit come alive. Let it shake up in us and everything like that. So I got a beautiful video that I'm going to share. Once again, the link is always in the description box. Please pay close attention to this video. It's a beautiful video that the Ahchyam did, and hopefully you enjoy it. And then right after that, as always, we're going to dive into that pool, dive into the scriptures. Once again, the water for being here, Jason Moore 77, and any other Ahchyam that come into the building. Let me pull that up so we can jump into that, and then we'll dive right into the scriptures after that. It's a beautiful song too, So if you like it, like I said, it's in the description. Make sure you share it. And here it go.
Not everybody clapping for you want you to win.
I don't do the fake, no. I'm real clear when it comes to business, yeah. I ain't tripping, I just keep my distance, no. If it's real, then you know I'm with it. If it's fake, I can feel the difference. I can feel light shine, they can't hide intentions. No mask off, I can see the vision. I see we either build or we mind their business. Yeah, ain't no in between, gotta make a decision. I've been through enough, I ain't going back. Seen the fake love, I ain't showing it. If you solid, then you know it's dead. If you're not, I just fall back. I don't chase that track, that's fake. Stay low, let them talk, I relate. When it's up, they gon' act like they knew me. But I peak game, I ain't new to that. Cut ties if you don't align. Peace of mind over dollar signs. But we still turn words into revenue. Every convo got a better view, I'm real clear when it come to business. Clear. I ain't tripping, I just keep my distance. If it's real, then you know I'm with it. with it. If it's fake, I can feel the difference. I can feel like shine. They can't hide intentions. No mask off, I can see the vision. I see we either build or we mind in business. Yeah. Ain't no in between, gotta make a decision. Stay focused, I don't need attention. They be talking at you move with vision. I done leveled up my intuition. Now I see through all the contradictions. If you with me, stay down, no switching. I ain't got no type of competition. I'm just building everything I dreamed of, turning losses into ammunition. Late nights, I was praying for it. Now it's here, I don't play with it. No, had to cut a couple people off, just to show them I don't play the middle. It's either side of you, I had the picture. No confusion, don't deal with mixtures. If it's real, we can build forever. If it's not, I can't move with you. No more halfway love. No deals if it ain't built on trust. I've been moving righteous. Not everything online. Clear when it come to business. I ain't tripping, I just keep my distance. If it's real, then you know I'm with it. If it's fake, I can feel the difference. I can feel it. Like shine, they can't hide intentions. No mask off, I can see the vision. I see we either build or we mind in business. Yeah, ain't no in between, gotta make a decision. Yeah, fall in line and we all ball. No confusion when the vision call. Play your role or don't play at all. We rise together or I let you fall. Yeah.
Con. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you enjoyed that song. For those that didn't see it, I will play it again before I exit out. Right before I exit out, I will play it again. Let's get something real quick before we go into that. Let's go to John chapter 10 real quick. Please turn there with me if you have your Bibles. Please turn there with me. Mayana Pasha, she says, Shabbat Shalawam, Mashkapa, Kahala Yahawah, Shama Mashiach Yahushai, Barakatham, Tawada for being here. All praises be to the Most High. Once again, turn to John chapter 10 with me. When I heard that song, it touched me. You know, it really did. And I just want to reiterate that John chapter 10, verse 10 is what I'm going to read. It says, the thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I come that they may have life and that they might have it what? More abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. So this thief that is speaking about is talking about the devil. He's talking about Hasatan, Satan, the deceiver, the serpent. This is who it's talking about. And he doesn't come into your life but to steal your happiness, your joy, whatever you have. He has entered into your life to steal it away and to kill, to destroy you. This is what it says right here, to what? Destroy. So whatever you have, that enemy is coming into your life to destroy it. All your happiness, all of your joy, serving the Most High, giving him honor and glory, whatever it is, he's trying to steal it away and kill it. And that's why this lesson is called what? If you have everything, listen to this. If you have everything you need in the word, listen to this and you will have all that you what? Need. All that you need. So I encourage you, listen to this as we dive into it a little deeper now. We're going to go. Jason Moore 77 says, Shabbat Shalawam again. She put John 10, con. Right? So here we go. Let's dive into Deuteronomy chapter 6. Let's go there. Deuteronomy chapter 6. Deuteronomy chapter 6. Turn there with me if you have your Bibles. If not, you can see it on the screen. Deuteronomy 6:4. And it says, Hear, O Israel, right? Listen to this. That's what this whole lesson is going to be about. Listen to this. And then you'll have all that you need. In the Hebrew, it's Shemai, Yashra'Allah, Yahawah, Allahayanawa, Yakad, Yahawah, right? Verse 5, and thou shalt love Yahweh thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might. So this is what we need to do for our Father. We must love him with all our heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. If you listen to this, you will have all that you need. Verse 6, and these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart. Verse 7, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. Now, when it says you should teach them diligently to your children, I'm going to use a comparative text to show you what it means by that. And I'm going to go to the NLT. And as you can see on the screen, in the New Living Translation right here, it says, repeat them again and again. So if you have children that are still in your home, little ones, adolescents, teenagers, whatever, until they leave out of your presence, where they're no longer under your supervision, the Bible tells you to repeat it again and again to your children. Listen to what it says. Talk about them when you are at home and when you are on the road, when you're going to bed, and when you're getting up. So basically, you're always talking about what? The Most High, his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushua, and the commandments. In the NIV, it says, impress them on your children. Meaning you should let your children know about the law, statute, and commandments. All you're supposed to do is let them know, tell them, like it says, repeat it to them daily. You can't make them believe, because it's given, it's given to the Most High who he has chosen, who he has not chosen. But at the same time, the Bible tells us to what? Tell our children, to teach our children diligently, right? So I just wanted to show you that's what we should be doing in our households. Verse 8, and it says, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thy eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy doors and thy gates. Now, what does that mean for me personally? And I know a lot of Ahchyam, I have it posted on my door, on my back door and my front door, Deuteronomy 6 and 4, in English and in the Hebrew, because it tells us right here that that's what we should have on your post of thy house. You should have that. If you don't have that, you need to get that. Because if you watch movies or you know anything, an evil spirit has to have permission to enter into your house, your domain. And if your house is a domain of the Most High, he can't just enter in. You get what I mean? He has to be on a particular person, an individual. That's why you have to be careful who you let into your house. Not everybody that you come into contact with is a righteous person. A lot of people have evil spirits on them. So this is why it tells you that write it on where? Your doorpost. You can get them. You can order them online. All you got to do is go to Amazon or whatever, and you can get it, or you can make it on your own if you want to. As you can see in every translation, it says, write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. The NIV says, write them on your door frames of your house. If you don't have a house and you have an apartment, write it on the doorpost or the door frame of your apartment door. It's telling you this for a reason. This is a command. It's telling you to put it on your door frames, your doorposts, your gates. You're establishing that your house is a house or a domain that serves the Most High Yahweh. The same reason why you put the blood on the doorpost on Passover, right? So I just wanted to establish that. And that's Deuteronomy 6 and 4 all the way to verse 9. Now let's go back a few chapters to chapter 4. Deuteronomy chapter 4. Turn there with me. Deuteronomy chapter 4. Still in the same book, just a few chapters back, right? And we're going to go down to verse 5. That's where I'm going to start. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. It says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahawah my power commanded me, that ye should show that ye should do so in the land whether ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great people, because nation means people, is a wise and understanding people. For what people is there so great who have a power, the Most High, so nigh unto them, as Yahawah our power is in all things that we call upon him for. All things that we call upon him for. So it's saying all of these other people in the world, if you hearken to verse 6, right, because you have this wisdom and understanding, everybody else in the world is going to say, wow, look at them. Look how they flourish. Look how they carry themselves. Look at their character, right? These are things that are needed. Verse 8, for what people is there so great to have statutes and judgments so righteous as this law? As this law. So for when people say that the law is evil or wrong or is done away with, but the Bible says it is righteous. And we're going to get into the New Testament, right, to break it all down, which I set before you this day. Verse 9, here it is. Remember, if you listen to this lesson, you will have all that you need. It says, only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thy eyes have seen. Don't forget all of the things and all of the experience that you've been through in life that has led you up to this point where you at right now, getting the very word of the Most High. And lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life. Once again, but teach them to who? Your sons and they sons, or thy sons, sons, right? If you got children, you got grandchildren, if you got great grandchildren, make sure you teach it to your children, especially your sons, because those are the man, and the man is the head of the woman. So please make sure you teach it to your children and your sons, especially, because they are the ones that's going to be the head of the household, to lead the family, to lead their children, to lead their wife. So they need to know the word of the Most High. Is very important. One more in the book of Deuteronomy. Let's go. Deuteronomy chapter 30. Turn there with me. We're going to jump over a little bit. Deuteronomy chapter 30. You know, it has a lot to do with character, integrity, a lot of different things. But we're commanded to do these things. Deuteronomy chapter 30. I'm going to go down a little bit to verse 9. Jason Moore Khan, he says 77. He says, Khan, all praises be to the Most High. Right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 9. And it reads, and Yahawah thy power will make thee plenteous in every work of thy hand, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy land, for good. For Yahawah will again rejoice over thee for good, as he rejoiced over thy fathers. If thou shalt hearken, the word hearken means to listen. So he's telling us, once again, this whole message, if you will listen unto the voice of Yahawah thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which are written in this book of the law. Where is it written? In this book of the law. And if thou turn unto Yahawah thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul. What do we have to do? We have to turn to the Most High Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushai, with all what? Our heart and all of our soul. For this commandment which I command thee this day, it is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. So it's not hidden from you. It's right next to you. The same thing the New Testament say, is not hidden at all from you. And I'm going to show you where it says that in the New Testament. It is not in the Shemayim that you should say, who shall go up for us to the Shemayim and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it. That's why a lot of people look up in the sky and they waiting on the rapture and they waiting on this and they waiting on that. The Most High is telling you that it's not up there. It's not up there. Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou shouldest say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it. Verse 14, but the word is very what? Nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it. So the word, who is the word? Hamashiach Yahushai, right? The anointed one. That's what his title is. One of his titles is the word. And it says, but the word is very nigh to you, meaning it's very close to you. It's so close, it says it's in thy mouth and in thy heart. What does that mean? The things that I'm speaking here today is the word of the Most High. So it's very nigh because the word of the Most High is coming out of my mouth literally right now. And it's in my heart. If it wasn't in my heart, I wouldn't be speaking about the words of the Most High, and that wouldn't be coming out of my mouth right now today. Then it says that thou mayest what? Do it. Verse 15, see, I have set before thee this day life and good and death and evil. So the Most High has set something before you this very day. As you can see right here on the thing, it says choose life. And he's telling you, I set before you this day life, good, and death, evil. Which one are you going to choose? Are you going to choose the good, which is life, which is the commandments? Or are you going to choose death, which is evil and unrighteousness? Verse 16, in that I command thee this day to love Yahweh, thy power, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And Yahweh thy power shall barak thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. But, verse 17 says, but if thy heart turn away, so thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other deities and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely die, perish, and that you shall not prolong your days upon the land. You won't be in that land. Don't think you're going to stay where you at and you're not hearkening or you're not listening to the words of the Most High. He's going to break up that foundation. Verse 19, Moses says, I call the Shemayim and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death. Remember this. Moses is saying through the Most High that this day he has set before the people life and death, a blessing and a curse. So either you could be barak and exalted, or you could be cursed. See, a lot of people in the church, they don't know these things because they don't talk about these things and they don't go to these books. They always want a blessing in the church or the congregations, but they don't know what they have to do in order to get that blessing. They want to be blessed. They want to be barak, but do you know what it takes to be barak? Because he is letting us know right here in Deuteronomy 30, verse 19, that he has set a blessing and a curse in front of you. It says, therefore what? Choose life. Choose life. What is life? Keeping the commandments. This is why Hamashiach Yahushua said in John chapter 14, verse 15, if you love me, then what? Keep my commandments. That's choosing life. It says that both thou and thy seed may live. Not only you, but it has to do with your children too. See, a lot of people don't realize when they go off in the world and they leave the Most High, or they don't hearken to the Most High, it doesn't only affect you, but it affects your children too. This is why I say it's both thou and thy seed. Your seed are your children. May what? Live. So you just keep pushing on. You just keep moving forward. You drop that seed like you're supposed to, and it says, teach your children, teach your son, just keep doing what he said do. And the Most High is going to handle everything. All power belongs to him. Verse 20, let's keep going. Verse 20. That thou mayest love Yahweh, thy power, and thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him. For he is thy life. Now ask yourself this question. Is the Most High your life? Does your life revolve around him? Or is it vice versa? You have to ask yourself that question. Who does your life revolve around? Right? Here it is in the comparative text. The New Living Translation. You can make this choice by loving Yahweh your power, obeying him. This is how you make the choice. I hope you listening to this. You can make the choice by loving Yahweh your power, obeying him, and committing yourself firmly to him. Firmly, not halfway, not 10%, not 20%, not 75, not even 99.9. One thing I learned about the Most High is he wanted all. This is why he say he's jealous. He wants 100%. 100%. It says this is the key to your life. So if you listening to this, this will be all that you need. This is all that you need right here. And this is why I'm showing it in the comparative text, because it even breaks it down even simpler, or simplifies it to where you can see this is what he's saying. This is the key to life. But like he said, you can make this choice by loving Yahweh, your power. Who is your power? Is it this world? Is it your job? Is it the money you got? Is it your goals that you have, that you want to become something, a doctor, a lawyer, or like, what is your choice in this life? Because the choice that he's talking about is loving him and obeying and committing yourself firmly to him. You have to commit yourself to the who? Most High Yahweh. This is the key to your life. And if you love and obey Yahweh, you will live long in the land Yahweh swore to give to your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is what he's saying. What land is that? The kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of the Shemayim. That's what he's talking about. That's Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 20. And I said, I'm going to show it to you in the New Testament that the word, this very word that's being spoken, is very close to you. It's very nigh to you. It's the exact same thing Paul says in the book of Romans. Let's get it. So turn with me from Deuteronomy. Remember what it says right here. Let me show you how it says choose life. And then it says up here that the word is what? Very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, right? Deuteronomy 30 and 14. Remember that. Because Paul in his writings is saying the same thing. And where did he get that from? Right here from the Torah. That's why he's telling you that. So let's turn there. Romans chapter 10. Turn there with me. Romans 10. Shabbat Shalawam, Sister Adriana. All praises be to the Aquas. She says Shabbat Shalawam, Yashra Allah. Khan, the water for tuning in, the water for being here. Hopefully it's edifying for you. The water once again for being here. So look, Romans chapter 10, and let's go to verse 5. Remember, we piggybacking off of what? Deuteronomy 30 and 14. So now that we're going to go to Romans 10, verse 5, it says, for Moses describeth the righteousness which is of the law, right? He's speaking about Deuteronomy chapter 30 right here. When Moses was talking, he is describing the righteousness of what? The law. That the man which doeth these things shall live what? By them. Now here comes the confusion for certain people. Let's pay close attention. Listen. But the righteousness which is of faith speaketh on this wise. Say not in thy heart, who shall ascend unto the Shemayim? That is to bring Hamashiach down from above. Why? Because the word is very nigh to you. I just read it. Deuteronomy 30 and 14. Verse 7. Or who shall descend into the deep? That is to bring up Hamashiach again from the dead. Verse 8. But what saith? This is a question. What are you saying? Let me show this to you in I'm gonna show it to you in the NL. So nobody can wiggle. There's no wiggle room. I'm not gonna give nobody no wiggle room. It's gonna be right here. And I'm gonna start it from verse 5 again. For Moses writes the laws, way of making a person right with Elohim, requires obedience to all of his commands. Speaking about the law, right? Where we just came from, the Torah. Verse 6. But faith's way of getting right with Elohim says, don't say in your heart who will go up to the Shemayim to bring Hamashiach down to earth, and don't say who will go down to the place of the dead to bring Hamashiach back to life again. Verse 8, it says, in fact, it says, the message is very close at hand. It is on your lips and in your heart. Deuteronomy 30 and 14. And that the message is the very message about what? Faith that we preach. So if you think by keeping the law, statute, and commandments that that's what's going to save you, you're sadly mistaken. When we say, or when I say, come back to the law, statute, and commandments, that means to just come and walk in righteousness and serve the Most High. That's what that means. Because if you're not keeping those law, statute, and commandments and you're doing something else, then you're going against the Most High. And you're living in what? Wickedness and evil. And this is what we preach. The faith that we preach, right? Verse 9. If you openly declare that Yahawashi is what? Your master, your Adon in the Hebrew, and believe in your heart that the Most High, Yahweh, raised him from the dead, it says you will be saved. If you openly declare, you have to openly declare this. You can't be timid. You can't be fake-hearted. You have to openly declare that Yahawashi is your Adon, your master. And that the Father raised him from the dead. Meaning you understand the Son's position and you understand the Father's position. Verse 10. For it is by believing in your heart that you are made right with the Most High. Why? Because he judges your heart. He doesn't judge like men judge. See, somebody on this earth will see you and they'll say, hey, they see you smoking a cigarette because you were stressed or you was going through something, and then they cast you down. Oh, she don't really believe, or he don't really believe, or he's this, or he's that. The Most High doesn't judge you like that. Hamashiach Yahawashi doesn't judge you like that. And we know that. For example, let me show you something real quick, and then we'll come back to Romans 10 and 10. Let me show you something real quick. Let's go to John chapter 4. Just real quick. 8. I'm sorry, John 8. John 8. I'll do the adulterous woman. John 8. I was going to do the Samaritan, but we'll do this one. Right? This is the woman that's caught in adultery. And I'm going to just get right to it, right? Let me go to it. This woman was caught in adultery in John 8 and 4. It says, the law of Moses says to stone her. What do you say? This is Hamashiach Yahushua. In verse 6, it says, they were trying to trap him into saying something that they could use against him. But Yahushua stooped down, wrote in the dust with his finger, right? They kept demanding an answer. So this is what he says. So he stood up again and said, all right, I know I'm in the New Living Translation, but that's because we're going to go right back to Romans 10. But he says, all right, but let the one who has never sinned, never ever sinned, throw what? The first stone. If you're going to look at this woman, she was caught in adultery. Yeah, you want to judge her. I know the law of Moses said, yeah, put her to death, stone her. But you know what? Since all you guys think you are so righteous, the first one to be able to throw the stone, it has to be the one that's never sinned. That never sinned. Then he stooped down again and wrote in the dust. So he said what he was going to say, and he left it on them. If you guys want to kill her, you want to stone her, go ahead. But the first one that throws a stone is the one that never sinned. It says in verse 9, when the accusers heard this, they slipped away one by one, being the oldest, until only Yahushua was left in the middle of the crowd with the woman. Why? Because they had sinned themselves. They had done things wrong in their life. They had sin on them, but yet you want to kill this woman because she was caught in adultery. Yet you want to cast that brother down because he may have done something, or something you may have seen, or something the sister have done that you have seen or heard. Now you want to cast her down and talk about her or talk about him. Verse 10, then Yahushua stood up again and said to the woman, where are your accusers? Didn't even one of them condemn you? One of them? What did she say? She said, no, Adon. She said, no, master. And Yahushua said, neither do I. Go and sin no more. So he didn't condemn that woman. He just told her, hey, basically, stop sinning. Don't get caught in this situation again, because I might not be there to what? Save you. I might not be there to help you out of this situation. Be more cautious with your life. She was spared in this moment. So how come you don't spare your brother or your sister you always want to condemn when something is going on in their life and you want to bring them down? That's not how Yahushua did it. That's not how he walked. And this is the example that he left for us. He said it's right here. Neither do I. He doesn't condemn her. But he said, go, meaning go ahead with your life. Go and live your life now. But listen, as you go further or go on in your life, don't sin anymore. Don't continue to be an adulterous woman, a whorish woman, a prostitute, whatever she was. Don't continue to be that. So when we go back to Romans 10, where we was, at verse 10, this is what it's talking about. For it is believing in your heart that you are made right with who? The Most High. So the commandments are not going to make you right with the Most High. What's going to make you right with the Most High? Loving him. That's why I started off in Deuteronomy chapter 6. That you have to love him with what? All thy might, all thy heart, and all thy soul. That's what's going to save you, and the grace that he has extended to you because of the love that he has for you through his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahushua. You can keep the commandments all day. That's not going to save you. As Paul is explaining, but people get lost in the sauce. That doesn't mean don't keep the commandments. But that if you're keeping the commandments thinking you're going to be saved just by keeping the commandments, that's not what it takes. It says, for it is by believing in your heart that you are made right with the Most High, and it is by openly declaring your faith that you are what? Saved. As the scriptures tell us, anyone who trusts in him will never be disgraced. If you trust in Hamashiach Yahushua, you will never be disgraced. Never, ever, ever. That's what the Bible says. You'll never be disgraced. Jew and Gentile are the same in this respect. They have the same Adon, which is a master, who gives generously to all who call on him. For everyone who calls on the name of Adonai will be saved. 14. But how can they call on the name of him to save them unless they believe on him? And how can they believe in him if they, listen what it says, if they have never heard about him? This is why we have to bring the word forth every day. This is why you have to openly, publicly declare your faith and that you believe on Hamashiach Yahushua. You believe on the Father. You believe that the Father raised Hamashiach Yahushua from the dead. It's telling you in Romans 10 and 14, how will people know? How will they believe if they never heard about it? And it says right here, how can they hear about him unless someone tells them? Who is going to tell these people? You are. You are the believer. You the one that believe in the Most High Yahweh and his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahushua. So it has to be you. It has to be you. Verse 15, and how will anyone go and tell them without being sent? No man or woman can go and speak about the Most High and his only begotten son unless they have been sent. They have to be sent. And the way you know that they're sent is there's two different gospels. I already did a lesson on that, and I break it down all the time that there are two different gospels in this world. The gospel of what? Prosperity, the gospel of the Christian church, Christianity, that doesn't bring forth any truth, that they tell you that the Most High law statutes are done away with. You don't have to do this and you don't have to do that. But the truth is what? If you truly believe in him, like John 14 and 15 says, and 1 John 5 and 3, which I'll show you all of those things. In 1 John, what is it, 2 and 4? He says, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. And how will anyone go and tell them without being sent? That is why the scripture says, how beautiful are the feet of the messengers, those malaks, those men that go out to the highways and byways, those men who do lessons, those men who on these platforms, bringing the true word of the Most High, of what? The good news, as it says right here. The good news. But listen, verse 16 says, but not everyone welcomes the good news. That's why I say you have two different type of gospels. You have those evil, wicked, unrighteous people that want to go to a church, that want to be part of a congregation or a camp. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they want the good news. Paul is telling you, but not everyone welcomes good news. For Isaiah, the prophet, said, Adonai, who has believed our message? So faith comes from what? Hearing. That is hearing what? The good news about Hamashiach. We have to bring forth the truth of the word of Hamashiach Yahushua. That way the people can hear the falseness and the truth. And if they're really of the Most High and Hamashiach Yahushua, then they will come back to what? Truth. Let me show you a few more that I just spoke about. Let me go back to the King James. We spoke about, let me see. I said 1 John chapter 2. I think I said 1. Let's go there. 1 John chapter 2. Verse 3. It says, and hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him. This is John writing. They're not John the Baptist, but the same John who walked with Hamashiach Yahushua, right? This is how you know him. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. So Paul is not writing, don't keep the commandments. If you think Paul is telling you don't keep the commandments, and all you need is just faith and believing in Hamashiach Yahushua, you'll be saved, that's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying. In the very next chapter in Romans 11, it says, and I say then, have the Most High cast away his people? Elohim forbid. For I am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham. He's letting you know these things. He's telling you. Romans 6:1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? So since we're under grace, which we're under, do we keep on sinning? Do we keep living an evil, wicked life? He says, Elohim forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? So when people say that we don't have to keep the commandments, wait a minute. Paul is saying we do, but yet we have to still live by faith. John is saying we do. And if anybody says we don't, that person is what? A liar, and the truth is not in them. It says he that saith. So if your pastor say it, your daddy say it, your brother say it, your husband say it, it says that they are a liar and the truth is not in them. Verse 5, but whoso keep his word, in him verily is the love of the Most High perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him. This is how we know that we are in him. He that saith he abideth in him ought himself also to walk even as he walked. How did Hamashiach Yahushua walk? He walked in all the law, statute, and commandments, and he loved his Father, which is our Father, Yahweh, with all his heart, all his might, and all his soul. It says in verse 7, brother, I write no new commandment unto you, but an old commandment. This is not something new, which you have heard from the beginning. The old commandment is the word which you have heard from the beginning. Again, a new commandment I write unto you, which thing is true in him and you, because the darkness is past and the true light now shineth. He that saith he is in the light, meaning you in the truth, and hate his brother is in darkness, even until now. So they not keeping it real. They lying to you. If you say you in the truth, but you still hate your brother, you're not in the truth. You're not in the light. You're not in the light. He that loveth his brother abideth in the light, and there is no occasion of stumbling in him. I also think I said 1 John chapter 5. Let me see. About keeping the commandments, right? I'm only going to these because I spoke on it, and since I spoke on it, I just want to show you. Whosoever believeth that Yahushua is Hamashiach is born of the Most High, and everyone that loveth him that begetteth, love him also that is begotten of him. Verse 2, but this we know, that we love the children of the Most High, when we love the Most High and keep his what? Commandments. But like I'm telling you, just by keeping the commandments, you're not going to be saved just because you keep the commandments. You have to have faith in the Most High. You have to have faith in his only begotten Son. And if you have that faith and you love him with all your might, heart, and soul, then you will keep his word. That's why you're no longer under the law anymore, because now you're not going against it. You're walking with it. This is what Paul is talking about. 1 John 5:3. For this is the love of the Most High. This is the love of Elohim. Some people may say Elohim. This is the love of him. That we what? Let me highlight it and put it out on the screen. That we what? Keep his commandments. And his commandments are not grievous. He's telling you they're not too hard for you. I'm going to show it to you in a comparative text. The New Living Translation says, loving the Most High means keeping his commandments. And his commandments are not burdensome. They're not. When you look up that word, I know you can't see it on the screen, which I thought you guys could. I just clicked on it, but I guess you can't see this. But this is the Oxford Dictionary, and it says burdensome, right? This is the definition. It means difficult to carry or fulfill. That's what it means. Difficult to carry or what? Or fulfill. And the Most High is telling us that it is not. It says are not. So they're not difficult to fulfill. I know we've been taught that, and the world has taught us that, but he is telling us that it's not. He wouldn't give us something that we couldn't do and couldn't accomplish. So when people say that you can't keep the commandments, they're lying. Either they lying or the Most High and his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushua, is lying. Somebody's lying. Who is it? Is it men or is it the Most High and his only begotten Son? I'm going to say it's men. Because Hamashiach Yahushua came to the earth and walked in the commandments. It speaks about John the Baptist's parents, Elizabeth and his father, keeping the commandments and walking in the commandments. It speaks about Job keeping the commandments. So all these people that it's talking about in the Bible keeping the commandments, but then when it comes to us, it say, oh no, you can't keep it. That's a lie. This is in the New Testament. 1 John chapter 5. 1 John 5:3. Yeah, chapter 5, verse 3. Verse 4. For whatsoever is born of the Most High cometh, Salakia, overcometh the world. And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even of faith. What victory is this speaking about? Is this not the same thing that's written in 2nd Ezra that it speaks about? I'm going to pull that because I spoke on it. I'm going to pull it. 1 John chapter 5, verse 4, it says, for whatsoever is born of the Most High overcometh the world. You have to overcome the world if you truly are born of the Most High. And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even what? Our faith. Who is he that overcometh the world? But he that believeth. This is how you have to overcome it. You cannot win it, or you cannot do it on your own. You cannot do it on your own. But John is he's revealing a mystery to us and telling us that what? How do you overcome the world that you live in if you want to walk with the Most High and his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushua? It says right here, but he that believeth that Yahushua is the Son of the Most High. If you truly believe in your heart, in your mind, and in your soul, your rakah, that Yahushua is the Son of the Most High, you can overcome this world. It's telling you, you can overcome the world. You don't have to be part of it. You can overcome it. But you have to believe in your heart and in your mind and in your rakah that Yahushua is the Son of the Most High. You have to believe that. That's what it's telling us. Now, the same thing is being talked about in 2nd Ezra as we see right here. Let me go there and show that real quick. The same thing is being spoken about right there. Shalawam to everybody that's in here. Thawada for being here. All praises be to the Most High. Shabbat Shalawam to you. All praises be to the Most High. Khan. Sister Sabaya, Thawada for being here. Let me show that real quick in 2nd Ezra. Let's pull that. 2nd Ezra chapter 7. As we leave 1 John, right? Turn there with me if you have your 1611 King James Bibles. 2nd Ezra chapter 7. We referencing what? 1 John 5, where it just said you could overcome the world if you believe in Hamashiach Yahushua and the Father. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 7, and I'm gonna just go straight to it. Turn to 7 and go all the way to 56, right? Because we got to talk about overcoming this world. So here it is. 7 and 56. It says, "For while we live in committed iniquity, we consider not that we should begin to suffer for it after death." A lot of people don't think about this. I know I didn't before I came into the truth. I never thought about it. I never thought about sin. I never thought about suffering for it. You just don't think about it because there's too many distractions in this world. But once you come into the truth and you start to understand the word of the Most High and your eyes are open, right? And you turn to the light and you begin to be illuminated with the light, you start to wonder and you start to think about all the things that you have done, all the unrighteousness, the iniquity and sin that you have committed in your life. And now you like, man, I'm gonna have to suffer for that. But all praises be to the Most High, Yahweh, and his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushua, that laid down his life for us, shed his blood for us, that now we may have what? Grace. But in that grace and in that faith and in that belief, he says, if you love me, to do what? Keep my commandments. So now you walk in the commandments in love. And you being obedient because you love the Most High. That's why you walk in them. It says right here in 57, then answered he me, talking about the angel, the Malach, right? And said, this is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. Now, if you didn't know, if you believer, or Salaki, if you are a believer, and you believe in the Father, and you believe in his anointed Son, Hamashiach. That's what Hamashiach means, Messiah. It means anointed one, right? If you believe in him, and you didn't know, you found out today listening to this message that you are in a battle. You are in a fight. What are you fighting for? Your eternal soul. That's what you're fighting for. In Hasatan, Satan, the deceiver, he's trying to cast down as many as he can. And you might say, well, why is this the case? Why do we have to go through this as believers? Why do we have to do all this? Can I show you real quick? If you allow me to show you, bear with me. I will show you that and come right back to this. Since we in the Apocrypha already, for those that are aware of the Apocrypha, I'm going to show you this in the Apocrypha. I'm going to show you this in the Apocrypha. Please turn to the book of Ecclesiastic Us, better known as the book of Sirach, chapter 2, and then we'll come back to 2nd Ezra and finish that off, right? I'm going to show you why we have to do it. And there's so many ways, to show you, but I'm going to show you this one. So this is the book of Ecclesiastic Us, chapter 2, right? And it reads, verse 1, my son, if thou come to serve Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation. So once you come into the truth, once you come into the knowledge, the understanding of the Most High and his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushua, you have to be tempted now. Just as Hamashiach Yahushua, when he was baptized by John the Baptist, it says what? He was led up in the wilderness. You can read this in Matthew chapter 4. He was led up into the wilderness to what? Be tempted by who? Hasatan, Satan. So just as he was tempted, you have to be tempted. Don't think that you could just proclaim that you believe in the Father and you believe in the Son and now everything is hunky-dory and you just going to walk with rainbows and Skittles and nothing is going to happen. No, it tells you right here, my son, if thou come to serve the Most High Yahawah, prepare thy soul for what? Temptation. Get ready. You are finna go through hell. Forgive my speech. But it's not going to be a smooth sailing. As people say, no, you're going to go through temptation. It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure when you go through all of these trials and tribulation. And make not haste in the time of trouble. Don't try to hurry through it. Wish that it was over. The reason we go through these things, I understand now. I didn't understand in the beginning, but I understand now. The reason why we go through these things, it says in verse 3, cleave unto him. Who? Yahawah. And his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahushai. It says, and depart not away. He's putting you through this battle, these circumstances, these things that's going on in your life to see if you're going to turn away from him. He's proving you. Just like he proved the children of Israel in the wilderness. You can turn, if you want to read that, I'm not going to go to it for time's sake because we'll be 5 hours in here. You could turn to Deuteronomy chapter 8 and read that about the Most High proving the children of Israel in the wilderness. That's why they was in the wilderness for 40 years. Because he said he wanted to prove what was in their heart. Would they obey and keep his commandments or would they serve other deities? The same reason why you got to go through your things in your life. All of us, not just you, but me too. Cleave unto me, or cleave unto him, as he's saying, and depart not away, that thou mayest be what? Increase in thy last end. If you hold on and you don't depart and you cleave unto him, you give everything to him, you love him, as I started off the lesson, Deuteronomy 6:4 on down. If you love him with all your might, all your heart and all your soul, and you cleave unto him, it says you will be increased at thy last end. Verse 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, meaning the things that you're going to go through. All of the Ahchyam that's watching, all of the brothers, all of the sisters that's watching, we are going to go through things. And it's telling you right here in verse 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Be happy about it. And I know it's hard because we go through some way out things. But the Bible, the word that was left for us aforetime for our learning, Romans 15:3-4. It says to take what? Cheerfully. And be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Here it is right here, verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire. You are gold. If you didn't know, you are gold. But you have to be put into the fire. Why? Because it says an acceptable man in the furnace of adversity. The Most High has to prove you. He's going to put you in these situations. Didn't he do it with Abraham? He said, Abraham, go and sacrifice your son, Isaac, your only son, the one that you love. Go up there to the mountain and sacrifice him to me. Didn't our brother Hamashiach Yahushai go into the Garden of Yosemite and fall down on his face and ask, Father, Abba, please let this cup pass. But nevertheless, let it be your will and not my will. And whose will was it? It was the Father's will. Even Hamashiach Yahushai had to go into the furnace. So don't think that you're not going to go into the furnace if he had to go into the furnace. Verse 6, believe in him. In who? The Father and his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahushai. It says, and he will help thee. All you got to do is believe, have faith. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Ye that fear Yahawah will wait for his mercy. If you really fear him, if you really respect him, if you really have reverence for him, it says that you will wait for his mercy and go not aside, meaning you won't turn your back on him and go back in wherever you was or whatever you was doing. Lest ye what? Fall. Ye that fear Yahweh, believe in him, and your reward shall not fail. It won't fail. So all praises be to the Most High for that. You know, and as we go back to the second Ezra, chapter 7, I believe it was at verse 57 or 58. If you didn't know, like I said, we are in a battle. Yeah, we was at 57, right? It says, did answer he me and said, this is the condition of the battle. So if you didn't know you was in a battle, now you know. And I broke it down to you why. Because you gotta, if you a believer, you have to go in the furnace. You have to go into the fire. You have to. And this is what this angel, Malak, is telling Ezra. This is an angel speaking to Ezra. He's telling him, this is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. Our sisters too. Anyone who's a believer, this is the battle that you have to fight on this earth. 58. That if he be overcome. Now, this is what 1 John 5 was talking about, to overcome, right? You got to have faith. If you really have faith, then you can overcome the what? World. 58, it says that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. What is getting the victory? Having faith in Hamashiach Yahushai, believing, as I have read this day, that the Father raised him from the dead, and loving both of them and keeping the very word that was given to us, which are the commandments. As I read earlier in Deuteronomy chapter 30, 14 on down, where it says that Moses did what? He set before them life and death, right? A blessing and what? A curse. And this is why it reads this in 59, for it says, but this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived. And I already showed you this earlier. If you didn't get all that, you can feel free. It'll be up on there. This is live right now, but you can feel free anytime to go back and rewatch this video from the beginning. As it says, for this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose life. And that's the same thing that's going out today right here. May 16th, 2026. I'm saying the same thing that Moses said, and all of the prophets and all the apostles and everybody else that's not written about in this book that went out and preached the word of the Most High. Choose thee life that thou mayest live. Once again, you can find that in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 30. Start at verse 1, but if you just want to get to what's being spoken about right here, start at about 14 and read down. But it says right here in verse 60, nevertheless, because we know Israel is stiff-necked, hard-headed, stubborn. Nevertheless, they believe not him. So they didn't believe Moses, nor yet the prophets after him. So they didn't believe none of the prophets, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel. They didn't believe none of them. It says, nor me, which have spoken unto them. Now, who is speaking right here? The angel, the Malak. So the Malak said, not only did they didn't believe Moses, they didn't believe the prophets, and they didn't even believe me. And I'm an angel. I'm a Malak sent from the Most High, and they still won't believe. Verse 61, that there should not be such heaviness. Nobody's going to be crying over those people. Nobody's going to be weeping. He's telling you there's not going to be a sadness, a heaviness in their what? Destruction. It's not going to be. As shall be joy over them that are persuaded to what? Salvation. And this is why we put our work in. This is why we labor. This is why we do what we do. All of the Ahchyam and all of the Achwathyam brothers and sisters out there that labor for the ministry for the Most High. Because believe me, it's more than just preaching the word. There's a lot of work that's done behind the scenes that people don't know. You know, you got sisters that do a lot for the ministry. Where it's just building up their Adawan, their husband. Helping with fringes, helping with this, helping with that. Just being there. Being that support. A lot of times, men couldn't do it without the support of their significant other. I'm not saying that that's the case all the time, but I'm just saying a lot of times that is the case. So those ones that are persuading people to come to salvation and choose life, they're doing the work of the Most High. So I hope you can see all this, you know. That's why it says, listen, and you will have all you need. And like I said, if you believe this message is edifying, make sure you share it with someone. Let's turn to the book of Isaiah. You know, you got something?
No, I was just going to say, Brother Timothy is listening, driving home.
Oh, Shalawam, Shabbat Shalawam, my Timothy, the water for being here. All praises be to the Most High. He says, listening, driving from the Sabbath Bible study class. All praises, the water, you know, the water for tuning in. We say all praises to the Most High that he woke you up this morning. He has given you life, breath, you know, to enjoy another beautiful Shabbat day and glorify him and honor him. And we just give praises, honor, and glory to the Most High and his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahushai, where it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for him. You know what I mean? So we just glorify the Most High and say the water, Hamashiach Yahushai. And I say the water to my brothers. You know, all of the brethren, all of the Ahchyam that's tuned in, and even the ones that's not here, you know, we still say all praises be to the Most High for them. And may the Most High cover them, protect them, and keep them. You take refuge under his wings, you know. So the water for being here, Timothy, you know. Everybody that's here, the Achwathyam, you know, and the Ahchyam. Turn with me here to Isaiah chapter 59 real quick. Isaiah chapter 59. And this is powerful. I'm not going to read the whole thing, you know, for time's sake, but man, I encourage you to go back and read this whole thing, especially Isaiah 59. But I'm going to start at like verse, let me see. The confessions of the wicked. I'm going to go down here and start at 15. Isaiah 59 and 15. It says, yeah, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. So I want you to see this. As I read already in the book of Ecclesiastic Us, or better known as the book of Sirach, chapter 2, that you have to go into the furnace. You have to be tempted just as Hamashiach Yahushai was in Matthew chapter 4. You have to, right? It says right here, in the comparative text, New Living Translation, yes, truth is gone, and anyone who renounces evil is attacked. Now, for those who was here in the beginning, I know Jason Moore 77 was, I played a video, and in that video, it shows these particular traits. I'm going to play it at the end. I'm going to play it at the end again. But it shows these particular things that happen. When you renounce evil, unrighteousness, and wickedness, it says anyone who renounces evil is attacked. Why? Because we're in a battle. Yahweh looked and was displeased to find there was no justice. So the Most High looked on the earth and seen that there was no justice, right? This is what he's saying. It displeased him that there was no judgment. Verse 16, and he saw that there, Salaki, and he saw that there was no man and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore, his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness, it sustained him. For he put on righteousness. Let me put it up some. This is 17. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate and a helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put on the garments of what? Vengeance for clothing, and was clad with the zeal as a cloak. I hope y'all can understand what he's speaking about, because I'm going to show you about that breastplate of righteousness. 18, according to their deeds, accordingly he will repay. Hamashiach Yahushua is going to repay everybody for what they have done. Everybody. To his adversaries, recompense; to his enemies, to the islands, he will repay recompense. Verse 19, so shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, which is in it. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Rakah of Yahweh, once again, the Rakah of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion. Who is the Redeemer? Hamashiach Yahushua. Where is he going to be? In Zion. Speaking about the kingdom. This is talking about the kingdom of the Shemayim, the kingdom of heaven. The Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from what? Their sins, their transgressions, in who? Jacob, Israel. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Saith Yahweh. 21. As for many, Salakia, as for me, Salakia, as for me, this is my covenant with them. With who? Jacob, the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. Saith Yahweh, my Rakah that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, meaning your children, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, saith Yahweh, from henceforth and forever. So it'll never depart. It'll never leave. You just do what you're supposed to do. Like he said, teach your sons, and their sons, teach your children diligently. Don't worry about the rest of it. I got it. All power goes to the Most High. So I expressed to you and I told you, if you didn't know that you was in a battle, every man and woman is born upon the earth. You are in a battle. You are on a battlefield here in this earth. For what? Once again, your eternal soul. If you didn't know, now you know. And like I told you, I was going to show you about verse 17 about what? For he put on righteousness as a what? Breastplate. Now this is spoken about in the New Testament. Like I always say, where do you think that they get this stuff from? What do you think that they're talking about in the New Testament? People have it in their mind that it's talking about the law and this and that is done away with. That is not true. Paul knew that he was in a battle. This is why he says it in the New Testament. But where did he get it from? Right here in Isaiah 59 and 17. And I'm going to show you this is where he got it from. Isaiah 59 and 17. You can see it on the screen. The righteousness of the breastplate, a helmet for his head, and he put on the garments of what? Vengeance for his clothing. Now let me show you this in the New Testament. Helmet of salvation, the water. Thank you for that. Ephesians chapter 6. Let's go there. Like I say, The message today is called what? Listen to this and you will have all that you need. If you listen to this, you will have all that you need. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. It's only for the chosen. It's only for the elect. It's only for those who can truly understand the word of the Most High. So if you understand and you receiving it, then it's for you. Ephesians chapter 6, and I'm going to go to verse 10, right there where it says, the armor of who? The Most High. The armor of the Most High. Ephesians chapter 6. Let me get a drink of water, Salakia. And it reads, 6 and 10. Finally, my brethren, Ahchyam, be strong. Be strong in the Adon, in our master, Hamashiach Yahushai. Be strong. I'm encouraging you, Ahchyam. I'm encouraging the brothers. I'm encouraging the sisters. Be strong in the Adon, our master, Hamashiach Yahushai, and in the power of his might. Remember, all authority has been given to him in the Shemayim and on the earth, the Aratas. 11. It says, put on the whole armor of the Most High. Put it all on. Why do you need armor if you're not in a battle? I only know people that put on armor that are what? In a war or in a battle. If you wasn't in a battle or you wasn't in any war, why would you need armor? But the Bible in the Old, in Isaiah 59, and in the New Testament, in Ephesians chapter 6, 10 and 11 is telling us, put on the whole armor of Elohim, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Now, if you don't know what wiles of the devil is, I'll show you. There it is there. The NLT and the NIV and the ESV. You can see it all on the screen. It says, against all strategies of who? Satan, the devil, the deceiver, the serpent, Hasatan, all his schemes, everything he has. You have to put on the armor of the Most High to be able to stand against all his schemes, all his strategies. He's going to come every way that he can to destroy you. And he's going to use any way, any tactic. It doesn't matter who it is or what it is. He's going to use everybody. Anybody that's in your life, anybody that you come into contact with, he's going to use those people, especially if they're unbelievers and they don't believe how you believe. He's going to use them to affect you, to get you, to bring you down. That's verse 11. Verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood. So you have to understand that it's not the actual person that you're coming into, that you have this conflict with, that you're going against, that something's not right. You have to understand that it's not really that individual that you're looking at. Because Paul lets us know right here that we're not wrestling against flesh and what? Blood. Even though it's a physical person that are doing these things in the world, in life. It's physical people walking around. You know, it was a good movie, but it's an old movie. And it has that wrestler, what was his name? Rodney. Dang. Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper, something like that. Rodney Piper, something. I'm butchering it. Say it again. Say it again. Roddy Piper. Yeah, I'm butchering it. But you remember the name of the movie?
No, I just know that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was a movie that where you put on these certain glasses, you could try to pull it up or Google it. When he would put on these certain glasses, he would see the real of people, whether they were evil or whether they were good. And he started to see how the world really looked and how it really was. And what we see is not how the world really is. I'm going to try to see if I can find that movie next time. I'll have the name of it. But if you can find it, you will see when you watch that movie that we don't fight against flesh and blood. And it shows it in that movie. But against what? Principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, and against what? Spiritual wickedness in high places. That's a lot.
It's called They Live.
Oh, it's called They Live.
Directed by John Carpenter.
Directed by John Carpenter.
And it's Rowdy Roddy Piper as a drifter who finds a pair of special sunglasses that reveal the ruling elite are actually skull-faced aliens controlling humanity through subliminal mind control.
There it is there. There it is there. Once again, what's the name of the movie called again?
They Live.
They Live. So pull that movie up. What year? Like 88?
Yeah,
1988. Look into that movie. Pull that movie up. And if you watch that movie, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. And that was back in 88. 1988. And here it is, we in 2026. And they was talking about this then. So look at all of the stuff that we're battling against, that we're at war against, that we wrestle with. Principalities, against powers, against the rulers of what? Darkness, wickedness, evilness of this world. Against spiritual wickedness in high places. So you got to have on some type of armor. How you gonna wage war against all of this by yourself? It's impossible. How are you gonna wage war against this? I just want to know. Adriana said, hey, Sister Adriana said, Khan. Jason Moore 77, he said, Khan. Like, how can we fight against this? This is what I want to know. So we have to have what? The armor of the Most High that he has given us. Because we fighting against a lot, not just one thing. Principality, powers, rulers, darkness, spiritual wickedness. That's a lot. It says in 13, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High. Not some of it, but all of it, the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having the, what is it right here? Breastplate of righteousness. Isn't this what it was speaking about in Isaiah chapter 59, verse 17, I believe? That's where we were. Where did Paul get this from? That's where he got this from when he's writing this letter or epistle to the Ephesians, and he's telling them and quoting what? The Tanakh, to put on what? The breastplate of righteousness. Where did he get this from? Isaiah. That's where he got it from. It's not a new concept. It's not nothing new. This has been from the beginning, since the ancient times, that we need to do what? Put on the breastplate of righteousness. 15, and your feet with what? The preparation of the gospel of peace. So you have to be prepared with the gospel. You have to be prepared with the good news. How can you fight against this spiritual wickedness, these principalities in high places, if you don't even know the gospel? And don't believe that the gospel was just brought to you in the New Testament. Because we understand what the gospel is. When Hamashiach Yahawashi stood up in the temple to read the gospel, what did he read? He read Isaiah. Let me tell you. Let me show you what the good tidings is if you don't know. Hold Ephesians 6 and 15 and turn with me to Isaiah chapter 61. This is what Hamashiach Yahawashi read in the New Testament in the temple. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to show you so you can understand. This is exactly what he read. He said, the Rakah of Yahweh is upon me, because Yahweh have anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and to the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh. He stopped right there. That's why I stopped. Now I'm going to show you. This is what he said. Watch. Here it is. Luke 4 and 18. Right? This is Hamashiach Yahawashi. And I'm gonna start at 16, so you won't say, "Oh, I don't know if it's Hamashiach." It doesn't. I'm gonna show you, because somebody always trying to weasel out of something. Luke 4 and 16. And he came to Nazareth. Who is the he? Hamashiach, the anointed one, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, who? Hamashiach, the anointed one, the only begotten son, he found the place where it was written. Where was it written in the book of Isaiah? We know it as Isaiah chapter 61, verse 1. It says, the Rakah of Yahweh is upon me, because he have anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and the recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, to preach the acceptable year of Yahweh. That's why I didn't read the part about vengeance, because he stopped right in the middle of it. He didn't continue on. He stopped right there. Verse 20 says, and he closed the book, and he gave it again to the minister and sat down. That's all he did. He read that, stopped right in the middle, right before vengeance. He stopped right there, closed the book, handed it back to the minister, and sat down. And the eyes of all them that were in the synagogue were fastened on him. And he began to say, this is what he said in the synagogue unto them, this day is this scripture fulfilled in your ears, letting you know the one that was written about in Isaiah chapter 61, verse 1, I am he. I am the Messiah. I am the only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahawashi. That's what he said. So that is the good news. That is the good tidings. That is the gospel. So the gospel is not something new in the New Testament. No. It was prophesied in the Old Testament, and that's why Hamashiach Yahawashi read Isaiah 61, verse 1. Letting them know that prophecy has been fulfilled on this day. You're looking at the Messiah. All praises be to the Most High. So when we go to Ephesians and we talk about the armor and wrestling against flesh and blood, and I mean, we're not wrestling against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and rulers and darkness and spiritual wickedness. And we got to take on the whole armor. This was gifted to us from the Father and Hamashiach Yahawashi, that we may be able to what? Stand in the evil day, and having done all to stand, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having a breastplate of righteousness, right? You need the preparation of what? The gospel of peace. Verse 16, above all, take the shield of faith. You got to have faith. If you ain't got faith, you ain't got nothing. You bear. If you don't have faith, you bear. You got to have faith. It says right here, taking the shield. So your having faith is what? A shield. How you going to go out to a war on a battlefield and you don't have a shield? You don't have nothing to protect you. So if you didn't know, your faith that you have is your shield. And if you don't have faith, then you have no shield. Think about all of our brothers and sisters out there that's lost, that don't have faith in the Most High and Hamashiach Yahushai, and they have no shield against all of this wickedness and all of this evil. They're being beaten down day by day because they have no shield. It says, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. So if you have faith and you have that shield, it says that you can quench them. You can put out that flame. You can put it out. Everything that the wicked come with, you will be able to conquer and put it out. Verse 17. Also take the helmet of salvation, as she just spoke on earlier. Take the helmet of what? Salvation. And the sword of the Rakah, which is what? The word of the Most High. So the same thing Hamashiach Yahushua used when this wickedness, this evil came upon him in Matthew chapter 4, after he was baptized by John the Baptist and he was led into the wilderness to be tempted after 40 days and 40 nights of fasting. What did he have with him? Did he have anything physical on him? Did he have anything physical on him? Let's see. I just want to show you. Matthew chapter 4. Since we've been speaking on it. Matthew 4, and I'll start at verse 1. Matthew 4 and 4. I'll start at verse 1, right? Shabbat Shalawam, Sister Dorothy Tawada, for being here. All praises be to the Most High. Khan, she said, hope everyone is having a beautiful Shabbat. Khan, we all, all praises be to the Most High that he woke us up this morning, giving us breath and life. Hey, we just say Tawada Abanawa Yahawah, because, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. So Tawada. And I hope everyone is having a beautiful Shabbat too. Tawada, Khan. Matthew chapter 4, verse 1. Then was Yahushua led up of the Rakah into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterwards hungered. So the tempter didn't come right away to him. He waited 40 days, 40 nights, weak, right? He don't got weak now from being hungry.
Adriana posted.
She posted something?
Yeah, she said, just his regular clothes, but he had the full armor of Yahweh, just like King David did.
Khan, the water for reading that. Khan. And that's what I mean. He didn't have nothing physical. But like the sister just said, he had that armor on. And that's the same thing that we have to use. And he's showing us in this illustration right here that this is what you have to have, that armor of the Most High, that full armor on, to be able to stand against what? The wiles, the schemes of who? Hasatan. And he shows us how to do it. It says, and when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, It is written. Where? In the law. He was prepared with what? The gospel. He was prepared. He had preparation with what? The gospel. Because when he said that, he came right back and said, what? It is written. Can anybody tell me where this is written? Can anybody tell me where this is written? It says, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High.
Deuteronomy 8:3.
Deuteronomy, she came back with that one quick. All praises be to the Most High.
It's on the refrigerator.
Con, she said it's on. We have it on our refrigerator in the home.
Made a magnet.
Right? She made a magnet of it. So right there, Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 3. So that's where it is written at. That's where it is written. He went back to the Torah and he was prepared with the gospel to fight against what? His fiery trial. These darts that Satan was coming with. That don't mean Satan gave up right then and there. Hasatan didn't give up right there. It says, then the devil taketh him up to a Quadash city and setteth him on a pinnacle of a temple and saith unto him, if thou be the son of the Most High, cast thyself down. Look at this. This is very important. Very important that Satan, Hasatan, the deceiver, he knows the word too. Because he quoted it. He says, for it is written, he shall give his Malachs charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. So now he tried to be even more sneakier to let Hamashiach Yahushua know, I know scripture too. I know the word of the Most High too. For it is written, he says. Yahushua comes back and said unto him, it is written again. So what are they battling with back and forth? Satan and Hamashiach Yahushua are battling back and forth with what? Scripture. Thou shalt not tempt Yahweh thy power. Verse 8, again. So Hasatan is still not finished. The devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things I will give thee. This is why you got to be careful about receiving things in this world, because they belong to who? Hasatan, the devil. And he says, I will give you all these things in this world. I will give them to you. Whatever it is your heart desire, I will give it to you. A brand new home, a brand new car, a brand new job, a brand new significant other. Whatever it is that he can give you in this life, he will gift it to you. Power, authority, kingdoms. This is what he's saying. Verse 9, and I'll give you all these things will I give thee, if thou will what? Fall down and worship me. That's all you have to do. You know how many people in this life will fall down and worship Hasatan, Satan, to be given these things of this world? They would gladly. What's that guy from that cartoon, the Hamburglar guy? I would glad you play you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Yeah. From McDonald's or something. Hey, many people will fall down on their knees and worship Hasatan, Satan, for the things of this world. That's all he wants. This is all he asked for, an action. He wasn't asking for anything else but for the only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahushua, to fall down on his knees and worship Satan. Verse 10, then saith Yahushua unto him, Get thee hence, Satan, meaning get away from me. Get away from me, Satan. For it is written, thou shalt worship Yahweh thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. So that's the only one that you should worship and you should serve is Yahweh thy power. And I started off the lesson in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4 on down. And it says, hear, O Israel, hear, hearken, listen. Love Yahweh, thy power, with all your heart, with all your might, and with all your soul. That's who you worship. So that's what Hamashiach Yahushua used. That was his armor. He was prepared with what? The gospel. He had on what? The breastplate of what? Righteousness. He had faith in who? His Father, Yahweh. And in that faith, that gave him what? A shield of what? Protection. A shield of what? Protection. And if you don't have that, then you liable to fall. You liable to fall. So when we go back to Ephesians right here, I believe we was at 17, when it talks about take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Rakah, which is the word of the Most High, like the sister Adriana said. Verse 18, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Rakah, and watching thereunto with all what? Perverseness. Oh, Salakia, perseverance and supplication for all saints. So don't only pray for yourself. Like I just said, a small prayer. Pray for all of the Achchyam, all of the brothers, all of the sisters. Whether they here with you or not, pray for them, because you know it's a lot of Achchyam and a lot of Achwathyam that are scattered to the four corners of the earth that are going through things, that are being oppressed. All of us are going through something. Just because you don't know it personally don't mean you can't pray for the nation. That's why he says praying always. Verse 19, and for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may what? Open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel. All praises be to the Most High through the Rakah that this lesson was put on me. And this is why I say, if you listen, you'll have all that you need. This is a powerful lesson. If you really listen to it, you will have all that you need to fight off Hasatan. And what I'm learning day to day still, because we're always learning. Any man says he has it all, hey, that man's a fool. Because you can never acquire it all. Because the one who has it all is the Most High, and you not him. So we're forever learning. And that's the way he has it set up. To make known what? The mystery of the gospel. Like I say, so all praises be to the Most High that he allowed for this message to come out. For those that have an ear to hear and do listen, they will be prepared to what? Put that whole armor on. To have that shield, to have that breastplate, to have what? The sword, which is the word of the Most High. And then you may speak what? Boldly. Because you have that armor on. In verse 20, it says right here, for which I am an ambassador in bonds. I always say that we are ambassadors for Hamashiach Yahushua. I always tell people that. You are his voice here on the earth. You are the light here in the earth. You are the salt to the earth. And Paul is saying, yeah, I'm an ambassador, but I'm in chains right now. Even in his captivity, in chains, or should I say his incarceration, Because remember, he was incarcerated because why? He had appealed to Caesar. So they couldn't let it go into all the way till it got to Caesar. And that was really, at his end, that was his death. But he says, I'm an ambassador in chains, that therein I may speak what? Boldly as I ought to speak. So even in his incarceration in chains, he was still speaking boldly about the gospel and standing up for the gospel, even in chains, knowing that it was leading to what? His death. As he wrote many times in here, I have fought the good fight. My time is coming to an end. He knew that he was, as when he saw Caesar, he knew that he was going to be put to death. But that was okay. He didn't change his story. He didn't backpedal. He didn't get timid, faint-hearted, weak. He continued to speak the gospel and be an ambassador for Hamashiach Yahushai all the way to his death boldly. Because he knew that that was the course. He knew that that was the furnace that the Most High and Hamashiach Yahushai had put him in. And he stood the course. And sometimes it's a hard course, sometimes it is. You don't know what the Most High got planned for you. You might look at another brother's life and you like, he don't go through nothing. And another brother or sister may be going through hell, catching hell every day. But that's just their lot. That's just their lot. That's just what it is. And we need all of this information to make sure we make the right choices. A man may think in his heart, like I read the other day in one of my lessons, Proverbs 16. Let me show that real quick. Proverbs 16 and I believe 25. Let me show that before I go to this next one. We almost done. We're about to get ready to wrap it up. Proverbs 16, right? And then we'll go to the next one. 25. I just want to show it. Proverbs 16 and 25 right here. It says, there is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but in the end thereof are the ways of death. There it is there. So we need the word of the Most High to lead us, protect us, guide us, and give us the true discernment that's needed. The true discernment, not your discernment, but the true discernment, right? Now, even in the book of Proverbs, it says this, but I'm going to show it to you in the Wisdom of Solomon also, that is basically almost saying the same thing. Turn there with me, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9. Yeah, I'm sharing it now. It should be on. It should be popping up now. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9. 13. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 13. And it reads, for what man is he that can know the counsel of the Most High? Or who can think what the will of Yahweh is? For the thoughts of mortal man are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain. For the corruptible body presseth down the soul, and the earthy tabernacle weigheth down the mind, that museth upon many things. Meaning your body, this flesh, this mind that you have in this earth, is thinking about everything else. So many different things. TV, what show coming on, who's doing this, do I have to go to work, what time, do I got to drop the kids? Just a bunch of stuff in your mind. It says in verse 16, and hardly do we guess right at the things that are upon the earth. That's why I just read Proverbs 16 and 25. There's a way that seemeth right to a man, but in the end, that's going to lead to what? Death, destruction. Solomon is saying the same thing right here. And hardly do we guess what's right at things upon the earth. And with labor do we find the things that are before us. But the things that are in the Shemayim, who have searched out? Who have searched this out? And thy counsel, who have known, except thou give wisdom and send thy what? Quadash Rakat, the Holy Spirit from above. That's the only way you're going to receive this. Like I said, if you believe this message is edifying, knowledgeable, and it will build a brother or a sister up, share it with them, send it to them. But just because you share it or send it to them doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to receive it unless they have the wisdom that's been given from on high and they have what? The Quadash Rakat, the Holy Spirit from above. Verse 18. For so the ways of them which live on the earth were reformed, and men were taught the things that are pleasing unto thee, and were saved through what? Wisdom. They were saved through the wisdom of the Most High. That's how we're saved, through the Most High's wisdom. That's why I say I give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know anything. I'd still be walking around in darkness, fumbling around like it's darkness outside at noontime when the sun is at its peak. But I'm walking around like it's dark outside. Why? Because you have no wisdom and understanding of the Most High. And we don't want to be like that, you know? We definitely don't want to be like that. Since I'm here, I'm going to jump back over to the book of Sirach real quick, chapter 33, while I'm here in the Apocrypha. And read a couple of verses out of there. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 33. Verse 17. I just want my Ahchyam, my brothers, my sisters to know that I don't do this per se necessarily just for me. You know, I know we commanded to do this, that we're supposed to go out, teach the word. Like I said earlier in Romans 10 and 14, how will the people hear? How will they know without a preacher? But as it says right here in the book of Sirach 33 and 17, consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning. So if it's somebody out there in the world that's seeking the true word of the Most High, and they want that true word, this is why I labor the way I labor. Because it has to be presented. It has to be. It must be. How would the people hear without a preacher? How will they know unless they've been sent? So when I think about it and I consider it, I don't labor for myself, but for all them that are seeking what? Learning. All of them. And it says the same thing in the New Testament. Only thing different is that it says we entered into somebody else's labor, which we have. We entered into Paul's labor, Hamashiach Yahushai's labor, Peter's labor, Bartholomew, Isaiah, Nahum, Ezekiel, Moses, Aaron, Adam. Everybody that has labor for the Most High, we have entered into that labor. Let me show you that real quick in the book of John chapter 4. Let's go there, John 4. John 4 and 30. I'm going to start at 36. Right. Actually, I'm going to start at 35. It says, say not ye that there are yet 4 months, and then cometh the harvest. But I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, that they are white already to harvest. And he that reapeth receiveth wages, and gathereth fruit unto life eternal. That's what we're doing. We're gathering fruit right now, today. For what? That eternal life, that eternal salvation. That both he that soweth and he that reapeth may rejoice together. So we sow the word, we put the word out. When somebody receive it, we're going to rejoice together. And herein, he said the saying is true. One soweth, another one reapeth. I sent you to reap that whereon ye bestowed no labor. This thing was already here before I was born. The gospel was already here before I was born, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. So I just entered into it. The labor had already been put out there. Hamashiach Yahawashi is telling us, I sent you to reap that whereon you bestowed no labor. Other men labored. All those other men labored. Moses, Joshua, Samson, Samuel, Nathan, just on and on and on and on. David, everybody, Solomon, all the people we read about in the word, they labored. And it says right here, and ye are entered into their labors. We entered into their labors. So no, I don't labor for myself, but for all those, like it said in there, 33 and 17, the book of Sirach, all those who what? Seek learning. If you seek truth, if you want the truth, then that's who we labor for. That's who we here for. Like I say, hopefully the message is edifying. Hopefully this message is edifying. Let's just get a couple more before we close out. Turn with me to 1 Corinthians chapter 14. 1 Corinthians chapter 14.
I have a verse.
Con, you got something you want to bring out?
Philippians 4 and 3.
Philippians 4 and 3. Let's get that first before we go there.
Only because you was talking about people who were...
Philippians 4 and 3. You want to read it?
No. Okay.
Okay. Philippians 4 and 3. I thought you want to read it.
I can read it.
Go ahead. Bring it out.
It says, and only because you were mentioning people who labored.
Uh-huh. Oh, so this has to coincide with the laboring.
Yeah.
Okay, con.
You listed a lot of brothers.
Uh-huh.
This one says, and I entreat thee also, true yoke fellow, help those women which labored with me in the gospel, with Clement also, and with other my fellow laborers whose names are in the book of life.
Con. Let me highlight that. And I'm sorry that I didn't bring out none of the Achwathyam's name. I am so sorry. You know, they're all the ones that labored and put it down. You know, Judith, Esther, Mary, you know, all of the sisters now today that are laboring, you know, day to day. You know, well, we got Sister Adriana in the building. We got Sister Dorothy in the building. That's always in the building. And Sister Baya to be in the building. All of the sisters, all of the Achwathyam out there that labor day to day. Like I said earlier, that's the backbone. Just the backbone of our nation, because we wouldn't have a nation if it wasn't for them. They bring forth our sons and our daughters, and they help us as the men that they are a backbone. They see what nobody else see out there in the world that we go out and face day to day. They see it. You know, they know what we go through. So, Khan, that was a beautiful one. for the sisters, for the Achwathyam out there. And my apologies for not including that because, yeah, you guys are the backbone of the nation, you know. And there's a lot of women, like I said in my other class, not sure if that was Thursday, Tuesday, what day it was, but I spoke about how Mary was the first one at the tomb. You know, she was the one out there when Hamashiach Yahushua was on the tree. Like all of the other disciples, they was ghosts. They left. But she was still there, watching him, you know, go through all of that pain and misery. So as she pointed out, yeah, all of the women, all of the sisters which labored, and you know they labor where? It says, with me in the gospel. In the gospel. They put a brick in too, or many of bricks, I should say. So the water for that. The water. Yeah. All praise be to the Most High. There it is. And it's going to come out, what I'm going to read right here, 1 Corinthians 14 and 33. This is going to go right inside with what you just put out there. Watch this. Right here, 1 Corinthians 14 and 33. It says, for the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the body of what? The saints. I know it say churches, you know, but we are one body. So he is not the author of confusion at all. So yes, women labor in the gospel. They have roles. They have things to do too. And like I say, they're the backbone of the foundation of our nation that we are, the 12 tribes of Israel. We wouldn't even have a 12 tribes if it wasn't for the what? The Achwathyam, our sisters. For it says in the Bible, Eve, which is the name that Adam gave her, when the Hebrew is called Hawa, which means what? Living, the life of all living. And the reason she was given that is because Yahweh gives what? Life. Meaning he exists. That's why his name is called Yahweh. So Adam, which is really Adam, he gave her name Hawa. And he said that she was going to be what? The mother of all living. Why? Because life was coming through her. She was the vessel that life was going to come through. So if, for those who didn't know her name and they just thought it was Eve, it is not Eve. Now, some other people may say, I think they put a CH in front of it. Let me see how they do it. I just want to show you on the screen. Let me show you how they do it in the modern day Hebrew. No, it's like Kahawa or something like that. What is that? Genesis. Is it 3? Yeah, let me see. Here it is. Genesis chapter 3, verse 20. This is what I was talking about. And Adam called his wife name Eve because she was the mother of what? All living. That's what I was talking about, right? That's why he called her that. But now we're going to click on this just to see in this modern day Hebrew what they say or how they pronounce it or how they say it. Right here. Right. You can see it on the screen. I'm going to click it.
Strong's H2332. Cheva. Cheva.
Now, for us to speak to Lashawan Quadash, you know we don't have no V's, that there was only what? W's. And then it says Eve, life or living, the first woman, wife of Adam, right? But when you know the Hebrew, you come right here, you know this is a what? This is a H. Now, these little dots and things that you see, that's called the Nakud system, which was brought in the what? I would say the 5th and 6th century, but that's going into a whole nother breakdown if you want me to break all that down one day. But these dots, which are vowels, were never in the original Hebrew. But anyway, this first letter that you see would be what? A H. This one right here would be what? So when you go into the Hebrew, you would see these different things. Now it say the root word, right? So you can click on this right here and go to the root of it. And it says in the outline biblical uses to tell, declare, show, make known, to breath, right? Give breath. It says right here properly, breathe, to breathe, right? To live, or to show, or declare. So when you go into it, you know, like I say, also, let me see. But that's basically what her name means, is the mother of all living. I just wanted to show you that, you know, and that's Genesis chapter 3, verse 20. And that's why Adam called her that, because life comes through her. We have to understand that. 1 Peter chapter 4. First Peter chapter 4. We'll start at verse 1. As I spoke this whole time about you having to go through that fire, you have to be put in the furnace. Peter says the same thing, right? Everything that we go through in this life is for our Father, Yahawah, and Hamashiach Yahushua. 1 Peter 4:1, it says, living for the Most High, or living for Elohim. Verse 1, so then, since Hamashiach suffered physical pain, you must arm yourself with the same attitude he had and be ready to suffer. So if you didn't know that you was going to suffer as a believer, Peter already told us, Paul told everybody, James told us, everybody, John told us, everybody told us. But if you don't have the true gospel and you just going to the church and believe in Christianity, they're never going to tell you. They're only going to give you prosperity. But the true gospel is that you're going to suffer. Peter says this himself, and be ready to suffer too. For you have what? Suffered physical, for you have suffered physically for Hamashiach. You have finished with sin. You won't spend the rest of your lives chasing your own desires, meaning what you want to accomplish in this world. But you will be anxious to do the will of who? The Most High, and his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushua. You have had enough in the past of evil things that godless people enjoy. Their immorality, lust, feasting, drunkenness, wild parties, and their terrible worship of idols. Of course, your former friends are surprised when you no longer plunge into the flood of wild and destructive things they do. So they slander you. Now, remember, for those that are here at the end, all this that we went through, man, when I play this video, these are the key things that you're going to see in the video at the end. So please stay tuned for that video that's at the end. All these things that we're reading.
What version are you reading?
The New Living Translation. Verse 5, but remember that they will have to face the Most High, who stands ready to judge everyone, both the living and the dead. That is why the good news was preached to those who are now dead, so although they were destined to die like those people, to die like all people, they now live forever with Elohim in the Rakah. The end of the world is coming soon. Therefore, be earnest and discipline in your prayers. Most important, this is the most important thing. Continue to show deep love for each other. For love conquers a multitude of sin. Remember that. Remember that love conquers a multitude of sin. Please remember that. And as we wrapping it up, like I say, let me just get a couple more and we'll be done. Romans 12, and we're going to go first 15. Romans 12 and 15. Be happy with those who are happy and weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with each other. Don't be too proud to enjoy the company of ordinary people, just regular old people, ordinary folks. And don't think you know it all. A lot of Ahchyam and Achwathyam brothers and sisters think they know it all. Paul is telling us, don't think that you know it all, because you don't. Never pay back evil for evil. Do things in such a way that everyone can see you are what? Honorable. Verse 18. Do all that you can do to live in peace with everyone. Dear friends, never take revenge. Never, ever, 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 ever take revenge. Why? Because vengeance belongs to the Most High YAHAWAH. And if you take revenge into your own hands, you're stepping in the way of the Most High and his plan. That's why Paul says, dear friends, never take revenge. Leave that to the righteous anger. Leave it to the righteous anger of the Most High. For the scriptures say, I will take revenge. This is what the Most High says. I will take revenge. I will pay them back, says YAHAWAH. So when you take vengeance in your own hand, and you want to go do it, you want to go hurt that person, harm that person, kill that person, get back at them, you are stepping in the way of the Most High and playing the Most High in your life. Because he said, I will take revenge. I will pay them back. Now, where is Paul getting this? He's quoting the law. Everything that I've showed you today in the New Testament, and it's just a few things, they are always quoting what? The Torah. That's what Paul is quoting. Deuteronomy 32. You can pull it up. Deuteronomy chapter 32. That's what he's quoting. Verse 25. I'll show it to you if you want me to, but that's what it is. Deuteronomy 32 and 25. Romans 12 and 20. Instead of your enemies, if your enemies is hungry, feed them. If they're thirsty, give them something to drink. In doing this, listen what he say. In doing this, you will heap burning coals of shame on their heads. No. Don't let evil conquer you. No. You don't understand when you have that vengeance in your heart, you want to take revenge, you want to do something to any person, that individual that did something to you that hurt you, you are letting the evil, you're letting Satan, Hasatan, the devil, conquer you, because you are allowing for that anger, that hatred, that bitterness, all those things to come inside you and conquer you. And this is why Paul is saying, don't let that evil conquer you, but conquer evil by doing good. Hey, and believe me, I still deal with this, and I'm working on this to this day, and I have to be better at it for myself. Because people do things to you in this world, and you just want to feel a certain way or act out and get emotional, but we can't. Because that's what Satan, Hasatan, that's what he's hoping for.
I'll put a comment.
He's hoping you get frustrated. He's hoping you get overwhelmed and you just throw in the towel. You say you put a comment. What's your comment? Khan, read it.
I said, Big Khan, the vengeance is not worth it. The learned lesson has its own rewards.
Khan.
Sister Dorothy said Khan.
Sister Dorothy said Khan. You know, and it's truth. It's true. And it can conquer us, you know. So we need to work on that as a people. So I don't care what no Ahchyam out there teach, no brothers. Hey, if you want to believe those brothers, I'm going to give a testimony. Yesterday, I was in the store before, on the preparation day, getting ready for Shabbat. And I ran into a Ak, didn't know him. I said, Shalawam, Ak. And we just got into a little small talk. And through that small talk, he let me know he had ran into some brothers and they was like, oh, you don't need to wear fringes no more. That's over. And like I told him, there's always going to be somebody out there who's teaching and preaching against the word of the Most High, but yet using the word or using the Most High name. You have to be prepared with the gospel. Is that not what I read in the book of Ephesians? You have to have a preparation of what? The gospel. And if you don't have it, you can be misled, led astray. But whose fault is that? It's your fault because you are not prepared with the gospel. So don't let your brother or another sister tell you to be what? Evil to your enemy. It was told to us that if your enemy is hungry, feed them. I don't care if they hate you, they oppress you, they whipped you, they beat you. You feed them. We are not of the flesh. We are of the Rakah, the spirit. Those people, our enemies, are living in the flesh. And we are not of the flesh. We are of the Rakah of the spirit. You feed them. If they are thirsty, it says give them something to drink. Even if it's your last bottle of water, you give it to them. Because it won't be your last, because in doing so, the Most High is going to barak you. And if you have faith in the Most High and his only begotten son, Hamashiach Yahushua, you will get that water. And this is why I say in doing this, you will heap burning coals of shame on their heads. That's powerful. Very powerful. This is my last one I'm going to go to. We're going to go to the book of Sirach, better known as the book of Ecclesiasticus. But before I go there, I'm going to play this short clip, right? And this is one of the Zaquan that I watch at times. One of the elders has been in the community for many, many years. So I'm going to let him say a few encouraging words, and I'm going to go to this last verse, and I'm going to play another video, and then we're going to close out, right? I believe I'm sharing it. And I'm going to blow it up, and here it go.
That's why it has to have control. That's why he has qualities that he must also give you. We balance each other. That's right. I want to end out with the last two. Speaking about brothers and sisters, cooperation, right. Working together with other people. Now, this will help the whole nation because cooperation is needed. I mean, everywhere. You got to learn how to get along with people. I don't know if they have it on the report card, but I do because I do marketing. But now you don't give too many.
Just real quick, notice what he said. You have to get along with people. Is that not what we just read in Romans 12? Live peaceably with everyone. And there's a Zaquan right here, and that's Hebrew, which means elder. He's letting us know, get along with everyone. This is why I'm playing this. See, I don't listen a lot to them young people that just be out there hollering and screaming. I listen to the ancient, the Zaquan, because they really know the true foundation of the word. And this is why I'm playing this. So if you really hearken and listen, you will get something from it.
Checks out it. They had a thing called get along well with others. Yeah, that's right. We hardly ever get to check that box off because when they're in the conduct box and X and F is so you don't get. But getting along well with other people, most people think that getting along well with other people have to do with how they are. Right. I get along with good people. I get along with nice people. You got to learn to get along with everybody. No matter how they are, you got to, that's what makes you develop your personality. When you can get along with anybody. You see a fool, you know you keep quiet. That's it. You don't talk too much around here. Because if you keep talking around here, you just get him talking more foolish stuff. That's what it is. You got to learn that. If you ever find a person who's got a temper, you got to keep yours under control. They get angry, you just blow your thing down. Bring them down. You got to know how to deal with people. That's how it is. You get a person that's nasty, be nice. That's how you counter. That's what allows you. See, once you do it Yahweh, he gives you power. He makes you rule over them. He gives you the spiritual power to control the circumstances. People don't understand spirituality. Now you say, come get spooky. I'm telling you how Yah is spirit.
That's right. Spirituality. That's right.
So the more you have, the more your spirit is in the vein of Yah's spirit, you control. That's what gives you the power. That's how you control the sickest circumstances in life, because Yah empowers you when you do it the right way. He gives you spiritual power. He said, not by might, nor by power, but what? By my spirit. You got to get his spirit on you and know how to get it. These are the qualities that get it. Having courage, because being humble don't mean you're a coward. You got to have courage, the ability to stand up for what you believe in. But see, people think that he said the word is right. Standing up for what's right takes a lot of courage. Doing what's right takes a lot of courage. You're in an argument with someone and you know you're wrong. It takes courage to say, I'm sorry, speak up, to humble yourself. That's why men and women, men have to have their control and know how to speak to them. Have the courage to know that it's not being your physical intimidating physique that makes you the man. It's your Yah intellect that makes you the man. That you speak righteousness to her mind. Then you get the power from Yah that puts you in control. Brothers and sisters, I hope that something that I've said stimulates you.
Yes, you did.
I haven't come here to put you down, but to hopefully say something that can help you help yourself with yourself.
Yes, you did.
I can't do it for you. I'm working on my character.
Okay.
Every one of us has to work and build his or her own character. And character is everything. Character is who you really are. Who you really are is what you think, and based on what you think and how you develop those thoughts. And one thing I can tell you, you can change your character, because you can change what? Your mind. Change your mind, change your character. May the Most High bless you and give you the qualities and the words and all the things that are in this book to tell us how to arrive at that character that carves us and weaves us in the image of the Holy One of Israel. To all of my brothers, I love every one of you. I love you greatly. Every time I see you, it's a pleasure being here in your midst. To my family there, brothers and sisters who are here in the community each and every week, those who are just here for today. May Yah bless you, be with you, continue to watch over you, and again, continue to keep you at peace and under his countenance. Again, on this holy Shabbat day, as I travel and leave the country to Guyana, remember the family that I told you about, our brothers from Jamaica. Prayer has power. May Yah hear your prayers, answer them, and may he bless you all on this Shabbat day. Toda Rabah for a warm welcome and homecoming once again to be back in the midst of my family. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
So once again, that's one of the elders. You know, I see a lot of people dropped off, you know, but it ain't for everybody, you know. It ain't for everybody, you know. This is truth right here. And that's what truth is, you know. Now, what you got? Which ones you want? Oh, you want all those? Okay, let's get them. Let's go. She said she got something about the elders. Let's get that. But hey, that was powerful right there. And it goes into what we were just reading and talking about, right? About all of this right here when I was saying never pay back evil for more evil, doing things in such a way that can everyone can what? See you're honorable. Do all that you could do to live what? In peace with everyone. This is what the elder was just talking about, the Zaquan, right? Dear friends, never take what? Revenge. Leave it to the righteousness, anger of the Most High, for the scriptures say, I will take what? Revenge. I will pay them back. So this is what the elder was talking about, your character. Your character. That's what it's talking about, right? So I'm gonna bring out this. My aunt, she said she has some stuff she wanted to bring out, and we're gonna bring it out. Deuteronomy 32 and 7. She want to bring that out. Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7. Right? Go ahead.
Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee thy elders, and they will tell thee.
Khan. And that was a Quan, right? An elder talking to us and telling us these things about your character, how to conduct yourself of a man of the Most High Yahweh, Yah. You get what I mean? This is what he was talking about. And there's a lot of our Achchyam out there who don't have that. And it's because they don't listen to the Zaquan. They don't listen to the elders. They only listen to these young guys that's the same age as them, probably 19, 20, just out on the highways and byways hollering and screaming. Is there edification in that? This is why we have the Zaquan. This is why we have the ancient, the elders that been there and done that and can teach you and help you in the right manner, in the right way. Let's get another one. She said Job 12 and 12. Job chapter 12, verse 12. There it is right there. Go ahead.
With the ancient is wisdom, and in the length of days, understanding.
Khan. Now, for those who know, when you say Zaquan, that is the ancient, which is the elders, which I just showed you. That man that I showed you could be my grandfather. And he's still going. He's still pushing the word. I don't believe that he's passed away yet. I'm not 100% sure. But a lot of his teachings are from a long time ago. I'm talking about in the 60s, in the 50s. And they were doing this then, before I was even born or thought about. Some of us on this chat were born, but some of us wasn't. It says with the Zaquan, the ancient is wisdom, and in what? Length of days of understanding. We have to understand this. So it's important that not only do we listen to the Zaquan, the elders, or the ancient, but that we reference that too. And we get an understanding from them and the things that they've been through and the guidance, their counsel. Proverbs, let me see what she got. Proverbs 13. Proverbs 13 and 20, right? Right here, Proverbs 13 and 20. Go ahead.
He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
Khan. And that reference to exactly what the elder, the Zaquan, was talking about. When you come into contact with certain people, a man is angry, a woman is angry. If you meet them where they at, then what's going to happen? It's just going to be a big old mess. But if they come, you come calm, understand the situation. Just like if you're speaking with a fool, you don't want to meet a fool where he's at. You try to have understanding and try to guide him through the conversation. So when he leave you, he won't leave you such a fool that you gave him something, you dropped a seed there. Because that's what we do. As we spoke about earlier, you got one that reaps. John 4, I believe I was 37, 30, 32 on down. You have one that reap it, and then you have one that what? Puts the seed there. I believe you have one more. 1 Peter 5. Let's get that.
5 and 5.
1 Peter 5 and verse 5. I mean, verse 5. Yeah. 1 Peter 5 and 5. Con. Go ahead.
Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For Ahchyam resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble.
Now see, a lot of our Achchyam, like I said, a lot of the younger brothers out there, they don't submit themselves to the elder. But this is what Peter said do. This is why me personally, I deal with the elders. I deal with the Zaquan. I deal with the ancient. And I try to share it with the Achchyam because these are men that have passed on already, but they left information here for us, just like the apostles, just like the prophets, just like the writings for us. All of these things were left for our learning, are written, are videoed for our learning aforetime. And like I say, I can't say with the 100% certainty if that elder has passed on. A lot of them have. I tried to find some information, but he was an elder that was out of the country. But a lot of the elders of Zaquan that he dealt with, they have all passed away. But as you can see, that was a very encouraging message about what? Character. And even here in 1 Peter, it says, likewise, you younger, submit yourselves unto the Zaquan, the ancient, the elders. Yeah, of all you be subject one to another and be clothed with what? Humility. Be humble. For Ahchyam resisted the what? Proud. We have a lot of proud Achchyam brothers and sisters in Israel. And giveth grace to who? The humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. All praises be to the Most High. I was going to go to the book of Sirach, but that was so beautiful that she brought out those verses that she brought out. Hey, I don't even think we need to go there because that touched on a lot of that. That touched on a lot of that. That was so beautiful. You know, I didn't even know it was going to go that way, but all praises be to the Most High through the Rakah, through the Spirit, that he put it on her, Mayana Pasha, to say, hey, this is what needs to be brought out. You should bring this out. And that's only through the Rakah, through the Spirit. Because anytime it has to do with the word, it's through the Spirit. Because if it was through Satan or Hasatan, he would have said, okay, that's good enough. Shut it down. Hey, the lesson over with. You don't need to bring out nothing else. You did enough already. But only through the Spirit, only through the Rakah, the Quadash Rakah, the Holy Spirit is going to say, hey, bring this out. That's why I always ask the Ahchyam is on here and the Achwathyam, the brothers and sisters is on here listening, to put it in the chat. If you want something brought out, put it in the chat, because that's the Rakah, that's the Spirit, that's the word on you saying, hey, add this, bring this out. It can't do nothing but add to the lesson, add to the word today. That's why when I see somebody in the chat and they put it in, man, I get chill bumps, because they add into it. They bring into the what? Very word, to the Rakah. Where 2 or 3 or more are gathered, Hamashiach Yahushua and the Father is here with us right now. So let's all together give a big Shabbat Shalawam to the Most High and a big Shabbat Shalawam to Hamashiach Yahushua, and say the water for waking us up, the water for giving us life, the water for everything that the Father does for us on a day-to-day basis, and the water to our brother Hamashiach Yahushua for laying down his life for us, that we are here to be able to celebrate this beautiful Shabbat day. It's only through him that we have grace, the mercy that's extended. Everything that's extended to us was given from the Father through his only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahushua. So I say thank you, the water, Father, Abba, and I say thank you, the water, to our brother, our friend, Hamashiach Yahushua. And I also say the water to all of the Ahchyam that's joined in, and all of the Achwathyam brothers and sisters that's joined in. I say the water for being here on this Shabbat, because you could be anywhere doing anything, putting your time somewhere else, but you chose to join in and click and hit the button and say, hey, I'm going to join in and see what this Akh is talking about. So the water, the water, the water. I can't say enough, the water. The Akh with Adriana, she wants to share something. Oh, yeah, Khan, Salakia. So. Yeah, mine was tripping this morning. I ain't even gonna lie. I was hoping, I said, Yahweh, please don't let this internet be tripping, that I'm not able to put out this this lesson this morning. But all praises be to the Most High, that everything worked out. Hey, it ain't even lagging right now. It's like right on point. So all praises. But the water, you was able to come in If it if you miss some things and you feel like you want to go back and watch it, please do so. Like I always say, if you believe this message was edifying, please share it. You know, hit the like button. It helps it go out into the algorithm. Mayan, she gives the hands up. Jason Moore 77 says, all praises to Water for everything. Same here, you know, the Water for being here. Like I say, we don't say it enough. We don't say we love each other enough. We don't say the Water enough. We just don't show enough of each other, and we should. You know, everybody always say the Water for the lesson, the Water for what you do, the Water for teaching, but the Water for you guys for listening. And it's through the Rakah, through the Qudash Rakah, the Holy Spirit that calls on you to say, hey, you know what? Let me see what that Ak is talking about today. Let me click on there. And like I say, when you guys engage too, and you put the scriptures and it just brings it all together. So the Water to you, the Water. The sister Dorothy, she gives pump fist with hearts, all praises. The Water, Aqua Dorothy, she's always in the building, all the way from the East Coast of the Water. And then he says it was a fire class, the Water. You know, all praises be to the Most High that he put this on the spirit through the Rakah to be able to bring out, I should say, at the Water for the scriptures that Mayana Pasha brought out through the spirit, through the Rakah. So the Water.
The Water, another edifying lesson.
Hey.
Shalawam and Sister Dorothy said the Water for today's class.
Con, there you go. Now listen, I'm gonna play this video for those who didn't catch it in the beginning. Now, if you like the song and you like the video, it's in the link. I mean, the link is in the description box, and everything that was in this class is in this video. So please pay attention to the video. If you like it, like I say, the link is in the description box. Let me get it tuned up for you. And once again, let me say this. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your Shabbat day. Kwam Yasharala. Shalawam, peace and blessings to everybody, and all praises be to the Most High Yahawah, Kahallah Yahawah, Ba'ashama Mashiach Yahushai. Let me pull a video up, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Here we go. Let me pull it up. Okay, here we go. Let me share it. And here it is.
Not everybody clapping for you want you to win.
I don't do the fake, no. I'm real clear when it comes to business, yeah. I ain't tripping, I just keep my distance, no. If it's real, then you know I'm with it. If it's fake, I can feel the difference. I can feel light shine, they can't hide intentions. No mask off, I can see the vision. I see we either build or we mind their business. Yeah. Ain't no in between, gotta make a decision. I've been through enough, I ain't going back. Seen the fake love, I ain't showing it. If you solid, then you know it's dead. If you not, I just fall back. I don't chase that track, that's fake. Stay low, let them talk, I relate. When it's up, they gon' act like they knew me. But I peep game, I ain't new to that. Cut ties if you don't align. Peace of mind over dollar signs. But we still turn words into revenue. Every convo got a better view. I'm real clear when it come to business. Clear. I ain't tripping, I just keep my distance. If it's real, then you know I'm with it. If it's fake, I can feel the difference. I can feel like shine, they can't hide intentions. No mask off, I can see the vision. I see we either build or we mind in business. Yeah. Ain't no in between, gotta make a decision. Stay focused, I don't need attention. They be talking at your move with vision. I done leveled up my intuition. Now I see through all the contradictions. If you with me, stay down, no switching. I ain't got no type of competition. I'm just building everything I dreamed of, turning losses into ammunition. Late nights I was praying for it. Now it's here, I don't play with it. No, had to cut a couple people off, just to show them I don't play the middle. It's either side of you, I had the picture. No confusion, don't deal with mixtures. If it's real, we can build forever. If it's not, I can't move with you. No more halfway love. No deals if it ain't built on trust. I've been moving righteous. Not everything online clear when it come to business, yeah. I ain't tripping, I just keep my distance. If it's real, then you know I'm with it. If it's fake, I can feel the difference. I can feel it. Light shine, they can't hide intentions. No mask off, I can see the vision. I see we either build or we mind in business. Yeah, ain't no in between, gotta make a decision. Yeah. Fall in line and we all ball. All ball. No confusion when the vision call. Vision call. Play your role or don't play at all. We rise together or I let you fall. Yeah.
And with that, I'm gonna say Shabbat Shalawam. I came back on because like you say, that was hard, right? Make sure you stay humble. Make sure you show humility, I should say. And a couple people said Kwam Yasharala, the sister Adriana, right? And then Jason Moore 77 said Kwam Yasharala. And then Mayana Pasha, she says Kwam Yasharala, call Allah YAHAWAH Shama Mashiach Yahushai. So that's why I came back on. But like I say, if you like that song, because I thought it was fire, I hope you think it's fire. If you like it, and it's called Ill Intentions, it's showing you how in this world, all those people that was around, you see they all left. And it was only those two sisters and the brother. And when you come into the truth and you live for the Most High Yahweh and his only begotten son, Mashiach Yahushai, that laid down his life for you, hung on the tree, shed his blood, that's what happens. People start to talk about you, you know, cast you down, and things of this nature. So the link for that song is in the description box. Hit it, listen to it yourself. Give me a thumbs up. If you believe this message was edifying, please share it. And I'll be live tomorrow, 6 p.m. my time. Please tune in. Hit the bell for me so when I go live, you can get the notification. And I'll see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Shalawam. Enjoy the rest of your Shabbat day.